For each paragraph, I would recommend going to the rubric to see what you need to do. So, used a topic sentence to introduce that the paragraph was clearly about the inventiveness of 5 poems. So, got to make sure I include something about inventiveness. Introduce the poems being evaluated within the paragraph and clearly provided, explained, and evaluated a logical example of inventiveness from each of the 5 poems. So that means my goal is to have an example from each of the 5. I'm going to explain it and I'm going to evaluate it. And if you don't remember, evaluate means like tell whether it's good or bad. So going back to my paper, I've already hit enter and tabbed in my second paragraph. I have 5 poems ready to go through. So my first topic sentence needs to explain that I'm going to talk about inventiveness. So first, one must see how inventive a poet was in order to determine if it is good. And I'm not going to list all the poems here. I'm going to just name each poem as I get to it. The first poem I'm looking at, and I really don't like writing this way, but like I said, it's your own opinions and things, is Pied Beauty by Gerard Manley Hopkins. He used inventiveness in claiming objects like, and then I need to go to find my example. I'm going to find like the most outrageous one. Rose moles all in stipple upon trout. We'll go with that one. Because moles on trout, fish, is kind of gross. And then I'm going to make sure that I keep my formatting the same. So if you don't know, you can go over to these 3 dots and there's a T with a big line through it. That will clear the formatting so it goes back to what it's supposed to be. Although it went back to the default, so I'm going to change that anyway. Sorry. It's supposed to go back to what it's supposed to be. He used inventiveness in claiming objects like are beautiful, while most people don't think moles on fish are pretty at all. And so I go back to my rubric, make sure I got what I need for that example. I have explained why I think that's unique or creative. I have an example, and I have evaluated whether I think that's good or bad. Let me see, did I evaluate it? No, I did not. So I need to make sure I include evaluation in here. So I might say, I think he used inventiveness really well in claiming objects like rose mole all in stipple upon trout are beautiful. Maybe I'll change that to because most people don't think moles on fish are pretty at all, including myself. So then I am done with that first example. Then I'm going to go on to my second one. Next, in Fireworks by Amy Lowell, and then I gotta look at if it's inventive or not. You hate me and I hate you. I'm just skimming through it. I'm not gonna read it all out loud because it's gonna take this video a lot longer if I read it all out loud. I'm gonna say that it is inventive in the word choices and creativity that way, but not for the idea, because it's like people fighting with each other and comparing that to fireworks, and that's a common simile I think people make, our metaphor. So I'm going to use this line I like right here. Scatter the sky with my blazing heart. So I'm going to go back to my paper here. Fireworks. Amy Lowell doesn't really have a unique idea in comparing fighting to fireworks, but she does make some creative word choices, including the metaphor. And then I will add what I copied and pasted. That's really more imagery. So I'm going to put imagery, and I'm going to make sure I change my formatting to what it should be. Let's see, will this actually bring it back to what it should be? Nope. So I guess that button doesn't actually work. So the audience can picture and empathize with her about feeling broken when you fight someone you love. So double check my rubric for this example, asking myself if I've evaluated it. So did I give my opinion on it? Not really. Next, in fireworks, I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna put, I don't think she really has a unique idea, but I think she does a good job in making some creative word choices, including the imagery. And then I've got my opinion in it now, my evaluation. So have I explained my example? Yes, I said it was an imagery, and I talked about audience picturing things. Have I given an example? Yes, so I'm good on that one. Then I gotta move on to my third one. So the third poem, The Tiger by William Blake. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could find the fearful cemetery? I'm just skimming through it. Sorry if you don't like dead silence for a second. I'm gonna say not very inventive. So I'm gonna go back to this. I don't think Blake is that inventive in pondering who created him, because he refers to God the Creator as a lamb. And then I need my example from the poem here. So it said, did he who made the lamb make thee? So I'm going to put that. And I'm going to change my formatting. I'm just going to skip that whole T button and make sure it's times and change it to 12. Perfect. Because the Christian Bible refers to God as a lamb, so that's not anything new. Okay, so checking my rubric again for that third example. I've given my opinion. Dang it, sorry. Check. I said I don't think. I've given my example and I've explained it. So on to the fourth poem. Next, whoa, why is it not typing? Daddy. I'm going to put on the other hand because she's very inventive. Daddy by Sylvia Plath is very inventive in expressing her anger at her dad's past through creative word choices, including, and then I'm going to go back to it and find the section where she's got some German in here. Where was it? I thought there was part of it. Going back. Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe it's just the German words. But I thought that she had some German in here. Alright, well, I'm just going to use the names of the towns anyway. So going back to here, including these ones, and change my formatting back again. Including Jew to both, oh, sorry, it's not staying in the format. To both represent her father's past as a Nazi and get across the idea of his evilness in sending Jews to concentration camps. So then going back to the rubric, have I given my opinion or evaluated it? Yes. You do not have to put I think in front of every opinion you have, so but I did say it is very inventive, which implies it's my opinion. I've given the example and I've explained that example. So then go into my last one. Finally, If by Rudyard Kipling. He's the same guy who wrote The Jungle Book, if you thought that name sounded familiar. I'm going to go back through his poem, skim through it. Dream, if you can triumph, disaster, bear truth, make leap winnings, risk. I'm going to put that it is inventive. Also inventive in the topic of considering the what ifs in life and giving specific examples of what could happen or what one might consider when pondering life, such as, so I got to give my example here. Pointing out, I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to throw that in here. And I am not going to be too worried about this, but really in poetry, whenever you copy and paste it and there's a new line, you're supposed to put a backslash and then put that up here so that you don't have all that extra space. It's not a huge deal, but you should have learned how to do this back when you had English 9 and you did the play, because you had to copy and paste lines for your paper on it. And then I have my quotation mark, and I don't think all of this is correct. There we go. So, the reason I picked this particular example is because we're going with inventiveness, and so this is a new idea type of thing that I wanted to go with, such as because he talks about how every fiber of your being might want to take a risk, but your heart won't always let you. So then I go back to the rubric again. Have I evaluated it and provided an example with some explanation? Yes, I said that is also inventive, so yes. And I gave my example here and I explained what it was all about. So then I have completed this first body paragraph. And yes, they're going to be long because you are basically doing at least 6 sentences because you're going to at least have a topic sentence and one sentence for each of the 5 poems and possibly more depending on how you break up your sentences and explain everything.